Okay, these are our noodles for our pancit. These are the ones we're using. These are the um, stick noodles, not the vermicelli rice noodles. There is a difference. Um, the vermicelli are sticky, and I don't want that. You don't want that. So look for the ones that say that on them, and they come in sheets like this. But what I've done is these in here are cut in half using my kitchen shears, which I need both hands to do it, so you're not going to see that. But it's pretty common sense. I think it's easier to cut them in half when they're dry um, than when they're wet. So I'll get the other ones cut, put in there. That'll be a total of a pound of dry rice noodles. And then I'll cover it with warm water. And then when they're soft, drain it, set them off to the side. All right, so our noodles are now submerged in water, just covering it. You can't really tell, but the water's just above the top. It is warm water. It's not boiling hot water, just warm water. And let them sit until they're soft. Um, you, some people will say al dente. Some people will say not. Since the way I'm going to cook this dish, I'm not cooking it in a lot of liquid. We'll get to that later. So I want these noodles soft. I don't want al dente. So we're just going to cover it, and we'll come back to it. I'm using a huge Dutch oven to soak these in, but I'm also going to cook in this too. So when they're soft, I'll be putting these in some Tupperware. Actually, if I can reach it, this is the Tupperware that I'm going to be using. If you wanted to do the whole sheets, soak the whole sheets, you could use one of these to do it in. I just didn't want to do it that way. All right, we'll be back when those are soft and in here, and go on to the next step. All right, our noodles are soft and ready. I dusted them with some black pepper. The recipe calls for black pepper to taste. I like black pepper. Shut up to my haters. But there's pepper someplace else. So, anyway, mise en place, ready to go. It's French for put in place. In other words, get your crap together first before you start cooking. So, we have a pound of medium shrimp, of course, tails off, heads off, deveined, shelled. We have a pound of pork. I actually did this in the slow cooker earlier. And that's peppered. Pepper, garlic, a little ginger, and a little soy sauce. We have a pound of chicken breast. I pan roasted this, let it cool, and cubed it. We have 6 green onion cut to about a quarter of an inch. And we have 1 and 3/4 white cabbage, shredded. A quarter, that's a medium white cabbage. I've got the smallest red cabbage I could find, and that's about a quarter of that shredded. I like a lot of carrots. That's the way I remember it, having it with a lot of carrots. Thank you, Miss Slim. So that's the way I did it. So this is 4 carrots, shredded or matchsticked. So the first order of business, now that our mise en place is done. Oh, wait a minute. A lot of recipes will tell you raw chicken, raw pork in the pot, let it brown, then coat it with the soy sauce, and go from there. I didn't want to do it that way, and I like this way better. So I pre-cooked it. So we'll be back in a moment. All right, so in the pot we have the chicken and the pork. Again, it's already cooked, so I don't have to worry about that. What I'm doing is just getting it hot. Because the next step is to pour in our soy sauce. I'm using low sodium soy sauce. 3/4 of a cup of low sodium soy sauce and a quarter of a cup of stir fry sauce. So at this point, you just want to make sure the chicken and the pork are coated. And then you're going to remove it from the pot once the chicken and the pork are coated. Once that is done, you're going to, now you want the soy sauce to remain in the pot. You're only taking out the chicken and the pork. Leave the soy sauce in there, that's important. So once that comes out, then we get the other stuff in. Okay, next step here is we want to sweat down our cabbage, carrots in this pot. As a general rule, your cabbage will become half the size cooked as it is raw. But anyway, this is going to take a little while. I mean, it's not going to take like hours, but we want to get that in there and we want to sweat that down. Now, I'm just going to cover it as soon as I find my lid, and I'm going to let that cook down. I haven't added any water or anything like that. What you could do is add maybe a little chicken stock if you'd like. I'm not going to. Once I see it's reduced, I'll stir it and get some of this coated with that soy sauce, and then continue to let it cook down. You want the cabbage and the carrots to be soft, and then you're ready to add the shrimp and the green onion, and then we're done. All right, we're back. Let's check. Okay. Woo! I'm in here tearing stuff up. Damn it. All right. So our mixture here sweated down just the way I want it. The cabbage and carrots are nice and tender. So now we add our green onion. Get out. Come on. Get out. All right, we add our green onion and our scrimps. And shrimp are too expensive. You getting in that pot. There we go. And our noodles go in next. I'm gonna need 2 hands for that. So the noodles go in. We're gonna stir it up, and we're gonna let it cook. I'm gonna cover it, and we're gonna let it cook for 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll be back. All right, it's been 5 minutes. Now we're gonna add chicken and the pork back in, and then we will stir that in and then let it cook for 5 more minutes. Again, cover, and then we will be done, actually. And then I can show you the final result. And here we have the finished dish, ladies and gentlemen. Pancit. Let's go ahead. Oh, the shrimp is so tender. Let's get a taste. Oh, this is so good. This brings back memories of Miss Lim when she made it for my birthday every year as a little child. I hate cabbage. Rarely I'll eat cabbage in a salad. But growing up as a kid, this was the only way that I would eat it. This is so good. This is my first time making it, and I'm so glad that I did. I have to thank one of my coworkers, Connie. I never even knew the name of this dish, and in talking to her about it, she's the one who, just by my description of the ingredients, told me what it was. Then she refused to make it for me because she said she didn't know how, or she wasn't good at it, but her sister was. But thank you, Connie, for telling me the name. And you didn't know you were helping me make this, but you clarified which exact noodles I should be using as well. Because I'm sneaky, and I didn't want you to know. And I will be bringing you some tomorrow at work. But this is so good. I hope everybody makes it and you enjoy it.